Steve, another busy weekend for us. Before we had our show on Saturday night, we had 5 people on the Channel 5 show, and 5 really good fights. First one didn't go our way, but what a fight. Marcus Malloy against a tough, I think he's Nigerian, wasn't he? Something Taylor.
Yeah, listen, that was fight of the night, and you know, Marcus, even though he lost, he's got to be proud of his performance, because he got caught with a really big shot in the first round. It looked like he was going over, but he stayed up, and maybe that might have give the round to the other guy, because he lost by 1 point. I was thinking the big round that Marcus had, the final round, might have nicked him a draw out of that fight, but listen, for him to lose by 1, win by 1, you can't argue. But he'll take a lot away from that, you know. He'll learn a lot, you know. Last minute replacement, he was really hard matching last Friday, you know. I probably worked as hard on that show when it wasn't our show to make sure our 5 fighters were fighting as I did on my own show on the Saturday night with more fighters. It was really tough, but we battled through and we got the opponents. I mean, last minute, a tough guy. I know he didn't have a particularly good record, but we've seen him all before. We knew he wasn't going to be moved. Yeah, we knew he wasn't going to be moved. Southpaw, I think he got caught with a few shots. We've had some sparring in Southpaw. He maybe not have got caught with, and that could have made a difference. But listen, it was getting to the stage it was either him or no one, and he's more than capable of beating him. It just didn't happen on the night. You know, fair play to the kid, so tough. He took all Marcus's shots and kept coming. But as I say, proud of Marcus the way he come through after that first round and kept going, and
finished so strong, like you said.
And I think listening to the team, they're going to try and get him down a little bit in weight, and obviously if they do, we'll see a more, should we say, focused and stronger Marcus Malloy, which will only be good for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure how it all went, but Tom Etchinson got his second stoppage.
Yeah, second stoppage on the bounce. I mean, to be honest, he was a lot better than the other kid, and we knew that when we was matching it, but he'd never been stopped, that kid, and he's been in with some reasonable operators, so it was a good performance by Tom, and you know, I think he's 7-0 now, so he's not far before he'll be going for like the likes of English titles, and he's more
very good amateur as well, so
yeah,
he's got everything you need to push him.
Yeah, we'll see where he's going to be in the next 3 or 4 fights, that's for sure.
Tom Farrell came through a great fight, and you were talking on the night that could set up possibility of a fight with
Alan Eubank, yeah, that's what we're talking about, and it should be announced very shortly. That, so obviously Fazza was going to fight him on that day, and then it didn't happen, and we kept him on, and you know, we had a nightmare matching him, and then getting the medicals through for Nigeria and everything like that. It wasn't until 3 o'clock on that day, so you know, considering what was going on in Tom's mind, because he turned up to do the weigh-in the day before, and the kid had to go to the medicals and couldn't make it, and he'd had 5 or 6 names before, and you know, he plays a lot on the boxers' minds as well, isn't it? So for him to come through that was a good performance. 16-2, the kid. He wasn't a stone jug. Yeah.
With a good knockout there as well. And then Paddy Lacey getting his first KO in the first round as well.
Yeah, again, you know, that was probably the 7th opponent he's had in the last 3 to 4 weeks, building up for it, and we ended up getting someone who wasn't at the weight but come down a day, a debutant, knew nothing about him, and you know, it was what it was at the end, but you know, he's moved on to 6-0 now. He's had his first knockout, and obviously he's at the stage of his career now as well. We're going to have to be having tougher fights than that, yeah.
And then a great fight. Mason Cartwright against a kid who's fought on our shows a few times at
Angel Emilov. Yeah. I mean, he could be hit with a baseball bat and not move, could he? You know, he's fought a lot of our kids, and I think he's gone from light welterweight up to middleweight, hasn't he? And again, Mason is better than him, but we knew he was tough, and you know, he just lost in his first title fight, Mason, and another title fight's going to come very shortly. So it was perfect opponent for him. He was going to get 8 hard rounds, and he got 8 hard rounds with him. And
considering his inactivity over the last 2 years,
before the Troy Williamson fight, where he did himself proud, you know. So looking forward to getting some information to getting his teeth in next, and hopefully become a champion, because you know they all want the belt, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's good enough to get one as well. And then what a fantastic show down at the AJ Bell Stadium. We had 7 fights on, and absolutely all 7 of them was great fights. Some even better than the others, but all of them were great fights, weren't they?
Yeah, I was talking to Steve Lillis, who come down as well, and like, even though it was the usual nearly all 40-36s, it didn't do a true reflection of how good the fights were, and the performances from the own guys. It was good.
Yeah, well, we knew there was going to be a couple of fights on there, because you matched them tough. We'll do it as we go along, but we started off with a young kid making his debut. Looked a real talent, Liam Cooney.
Yeah, you know, he looked physically great, didn't he, when he come in, and he had all the new stuff for his debut. Confident lad, and confident. You know, even though he's probably giving half a stone away in natural weight to Neem Ali, he handled him as easy as any of the kids that I've seen him. You know, I mean, obviously he's a journeyman, and he's coming to get through, so he fights the week after, so he didn't offer much offensively, but you know, Liam Cooney, Liam Cooney put his shots together well, and give him as good as a beating as I've seen anyone do him. So yeah, it was good performance by him.
And then a kid who he's really surprising me every fight, Thornwright, had a very good performance against the always durable, always reliable Jamie Quinn.
Yeah, you know, good fight for Thorn, because he got a stoppage last time, and you know, he's a kid a bit smaller than him, so to fight someone his own weight and as experienced as Quinn, to get 4 good rounds out was what he needed.
Yeah, it was 4 good rounds as well. And then a fight that was made last minute. You had Reece Woods stepping in with, he's not a VIP fighter, but he's managed by your good friend James Russell, isn't it? James McCarthy.
Yeah. I mean, again, we had a couple of late pullouts on this one, which, you know, are really hard to fill, because everybody was looking for opponents. I mean, I'm in a group chat with all the matchmakers and managers, and all you was getting ping, we want this, we want that, and I was sending them through, I want this, and it was just a nightmare last weekend, and it seems to be the same for the next few weekends as well. But probably ended up a better fight for Reece Woods, because it was the first time that he's had someone who's coming and wanting to win properly and going to put it on him, and he handled it really easily, to be honest with you. And you know, it bodes well for the fact that he's going to go up from 4 rounds to 6 rounds and fight more competitive fights, and it's shown that he's capable of it, so that was good.
And another one of the light middleweights, because there was 3 on that show who were all around the same level, so you know, Casey Brown against the old kid who always brings it, Jay Bray.
Yeah.
But Casey looked really good. Not only did he box beautiful, but he looked quite vicious as well. Yeah,
great performance for him. And like you say, Jake Bray's a real test for anyone in the 4 and 6 round thing. He's come to win, and you know, as I say, Casey Brown's in the same position as Reece Woods had 4 fights now, be moving up to 6, and that'll stand him in good state. Cause, I mean, to be honest, I think the average, I know they give it 40-36, but you know, I thought he might have drew or even lost the 3rd round, but everything else was punch perfect from him.
Yeah, I was impressed with him. And then the kid that we both love watching, Johnny Boy Kiley, in an absolute cracker with, I can't pronounce his name, I'll be under here as we're talking. Russian kid, he's been on our shows a couple of times. He fought Jake Goodwin.
Yeah, listen, these Russian kids are as good as opponents as you're going to get, aren't they? There's one later we'll talk about with Luke Evans, absolutely quality, and you know, Johnny Boy Carr, it's impossible for him to be in a boring fight because he's on it right from the start, and he was looking really good for 3 rounds, and then the 4th round I had to watch back because I missed it on the night and everyone was telling me what a belting round was. You know, he did get it a little bit too much, and it's something he's going to have to work on because you start going up in opponents and punching powers and things like that. You can't get it as often as that, but on the night watching it, it's good fun for the followers, yeah.
But do you know something? That's what that Russian kid does, because if you remember when he fought Jay Goodwin put it on him, but he was always dangerous. He always come back. I mean, Jay took some big shots off him, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. But listen,
great kid.
Great learning fight for Johnny Boy Carr.
Fantastic. And then we had Akeem Fiat returning to the VIP shows after a terrible 12 months for him. But what a performance, mate.
Listen, he needed someone to get the ring rust off. That kid's never been, I don't think he's been stopped once, and was hoping maybe Akeem could do it because naturally he was bigger than him, but you know, fair play to the little kid. He took a right load of past and you know, I ended up feeling sorry for him at the end, and you know, I was hoping that he would have got stopped, but he didn't. Tough little kid, and well done to him, but you know, good performance off Akeem. He put some combinations and some great shots together.
Vicious,
I
remember when he made his debut against Riaz, and it was very similar to that. I mean, the uppercuts he was throwing in that fight were just.
Well, again, he's just a couple of fights away from being put in a big fight, isn't he? So getting those rounds out will do no harm.
Right, and then the final, I think it was a final fight, Evans against the Russian kid, again, Rustin Faruqi or whatever. Brilliant kid, been on our shows numerous occasions now, always comes and gives a good fight. And but you know something, Luke, I know he got a bad cut and damaged nose. I think it was the end of the 2nd round, and beginning of the 3rd round he was still suffering from that a little bit, but once he got his head back together, he boxed beautiful, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's come through some adversity, hasn't he? Outside the ring as well as in the ring, and Saturday night was no different with the cut and the busted nose. But you know, that's all part of boxing, isn't it? And I mean, he's 13 fights without a loss now, so. You know, we're going to have to move him forward. I think we've planned down for doing an 8th round in September, and after that it's going to have to be a title fight for him, isn't it? Because you know, they're in the game to not just win things, but to try and make a living out of it, aren't they? And you're not going to do that fighting on my shows, are they? They're going to have to get onto the TV shows where there's more exposure, sponsorship money, TV money, where they can earn. And you know, he's already had one experience of it, he likes it, and you're going to have to get back on there. And you know, again, Saturday night was all part of that learning experience for when he does get there. So hopefully he can not just go on the TV and be a part of it, but win and then become parts of it in the future as well.
Definitely. I think they've all got potential for that as well. So it was a great show, like I say, great learning fight, and really enjoyable for the fans. We've now got a week off, haven't we?
Yeah, week off this week, and then 2nd of July is at Hull, 9th of July is in Liverpool, and 16th of July in Bolton. So break, 3 weeks on the bounce, and then we've got 6 weeks off before September. So I mean, I'm hoping the weather keeps like this. I'm bored in here talking to you, Lee. So let's hope we can all have a nice holiday and then come back recharged for what's going to be an improved VIP promotions and produced as well, because we've got a little bit of TV coming, which will be 1 a month, and we'll announce that probably next week, Lee. Yeah.
When will that be starting? September, October?
October's the first one, yeah. So we're going to get it all put together, but it's all been agreed, and hopefully lads can get the exposure that they deserve.
Yeah, right. Well, like I say, if it was that could have been one of those TV shows, mate. That was
the only trouble is like the venue's a little bit small for what we need to produce, but
where was it being held then?
We're going to see where we are, but it'll be good venues.
Alright, Steve, nice one, thanks for that.
Thank you, cheers.
See you,
bye.
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 For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north. Click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.